Hello, I'm Jamie.
Hello, I'm Mark, and it's time for another episode of Through the Garden Gate. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything in between, it's Tuesday night, it's 7:30, and we are back with another episode of Through the Garden Gate. George will be here shortly because he's just doing mine and Jamie's question that he does every week. So I'll be joined by George shortly. How are we all? Are we enjoying the lovely sunshine that we've had for the last few days? It's that time of year when you're going to think, oh, it's spring, let's get all the seeds sown. And actually, it's still winter. Don't get too excited, I'm sure it won't last. There's Jamie. Jamie's in before George.
Beat you, George.
Nearly.
Definitely.
I was here way before you were.
Yeah, I know, because I was sorting out the gardening question because I hadn't done it.
Well, that ain't no good. You can't leave it that late, can you?
I was at swimming as well.
He was at swimming.
So you've had a week. You've only had a week to do
Just
it.
as you pressed invite, I came in.
2 weeks, yeah.
Not for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Went on last week because I was in London.
Oh yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Well, it's no excuse then, George. Come on.
Poor effort.
Let me get a point back.
Okay.
What is it?
So every week, George gives myself and Mark a question, gardening question, and we see who gets it right or the closest. And to be honest, Mark got all three right so far.
No, 2.5 according to George.
Yeah, 2.5. No, it's 2-1-0. 2-1-0.
All right, okay.
2.5, 1-0.
I don't mind.
So there was 1 week that we both got it wrong, or we didn't get
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
So will that be a week?
Evening, Jenny.
Right.
Go on then.
What was the first vegetable grown in space?
Oh. I know where you got that question from.
Well, that's where he was at the weekend.
Jamie, so we went to the Space Centre on Saturday.
I know, George. I saw.
And we looked at the we went
trying to
there was like
concentrate.
flying plants.
Flying plants, because they have to turn them.
Well, that ain't fair. You went as well, Mark. So you obviously saw the question, the answer.
I'm seriously doubting myself now, to be honest.
No,
It's got to be
no,
something easy. It's got to be something really easy. Something easy and quick to grow.
I'm going to go...
No, actually, are we doing a typey thing, are we?
Yeah, let's do the typey thing, so we can both press it at the same time. I don't know whether I'm going to be right.
That is a vegetable.
Oh, it's a vegetable?
Yeah! You missed it,
George, you should have told him.
I did! I said,
You shouldn't have.
literally, a minute ago, I was just like, what was the first vegetable grown in space?
Right, you ready, Jamie?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, we've both gone potato.
And you are both right!
Yeah! I got a point.
Jamie's got a point.
It's 2.511 now.
3.5.
3.511.
Right, tell us a fact about it then. Do you know some info about it, George?
Potato. In October 1995, it was on an experiment to see if an astronauts could grow their own food in space.
There you go.
Yeah, and potatoes are a good one, yeah. Brilliant. I'll tell you why I thought I did that, because I saw a film. What was the film? Where was it? The Martian, where he grew loads of potatoes.
Where he went to... Was he on Mars or something? Or
He was on Mars on his own, wasn't he? And then he grew loads of potatoes, so that's why I thought it would have been that.
Jamie, literally, me and my mum just cooked that up.
Cooked it up.
Brilliant.
Potatoes.
No.
Good question.
No.
I'll tell you what, George, that was my favourite question so far.
That's because you got it right.
That's very good. Thank you, mate. And
You were
we like
just,
the
you were just lucky that time.
and the explanation. No,
Yeah, you were
no.
lucky.
There's no luck in it.
Dad,
No
when
luck
you
in
were
it.
like grass, I was like, hang on.
I thought you said plants, so I wasn't going vegetable. But then as soon as you said it was a vegetable, it had to be potato, surely.
Yeah.
Right, off you go then. You've got lots to
Thanks,
do.
George.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. See you next
Cheers,
week.
buddy.
Another good question. See
Why are you making me leave so early?
Because you've
See
done
you
your
later.
Yeah, but what about what we've done in Harpoon?
Yes, he did go to Wild in the Woods. That was sort of gardening related. Playing in the woods.
Yeah. Good question. I like that.
That was a good one.
Yeah, very
I
good.
didn't see any potatoes in the Space Centre though. I saw spinning grass.
Why weren't you on Through the Garden Gate last week?
Forgot something.
What did you forget?
I just went upstairs. My mum said, "Why didn't you show him the thing?" So, back in a minute.
Okay.
Then I'll be leaving.
What did you say? What seeds have we been sowing?
I said, why weren't you on Through the Garden Gate last week?
Oh, why wasn't I on Through the Garden Gate? Well, the same reason you weren't on Through the Garden Gate last week.
What was that?
We was in London.
We were in London, the Big Smoke, weren't we?
Yeah.
At the Garden Press event.
Garden Press event, which was nice to meet
Which
up.
I really enjoyed, to be honest. It was really, really good.
Yeah, it's nice and chilled out. Sunny day.
Very hot in that big greenhouse.
Every time it's boiling.
Yeah.
Should have gone in shorts. Shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah. I went in shirt, jumper and a gilet and I was too hot.
Come on then, enlighten us what you're going to tell us. Yeah.
So it's a necklace made out of pewter and it's like a dinosaur tooth. And then
Ooh,
it's had
really
this
smart.
tiny bag.
I'll do
It's
it.
nice, George. Did you make it?
Explain how you made it.
So how I made it was like, so there was this hard, like, roundy shape, or like, it was like this, and then like in a flat thing, and then they put it in some, on like a pan in front of the fire like that, and then it melted.
Melted the metal.
And then it went inside of the mould, and then it went back to this.
And it went hard.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
So it went to liquid and then went back to...
and that's an actual mosasaur tooth.
Oh, that's what they made the mould out of, is it?
Similar, yeah.
Oh, a similar one.
Yeah, so it's a actual fossil. 70 million years old.
Wow.
Older than
Nearly
me.
as old as your dad.
And it was found in the mines of Morocco.
Oh, wow.
And how did you do the mould? You stuck the tooth in sand?
No, in like water, and then put it in. So I put it in water to cool it down.
Yeah, but what did you put the
Like
tooth in?
clay.
Clay. There you go. And then put metal into the clay.
Yeah.
And then you made
It's
it
really good, George.
necklace.
Yeah. It was
Very
on Wild
nice.
Woods.
That was at Wild in the Woods. There you
I
go.
nearly forgot that. I think that might be the most chaotic thing because went off,
And then came back again.
came back. So
Nothing you do, George, is ever chaotic, mate.
I think it might be. Put it down in the comments. Is this the funniest Through the Garden Gate so far?
Put it down in the comments.
Chaotic. Okay, for real this time. See you on
Oh,
March
dear.
1st.
Bye, crazy.
I can't wait to do your own podcast, George. He is crazy, isn't he?
Lovable, but crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we had a good day. That's the main thing.
Yeah, at the press event, it was good.
And so did we. Yeah, George had a good day, and so did we. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Nice to see some new products. See some people.
Lots of new products. I wasn't quite as struck on the product of the year or whatever it was.
No.
I thought the one we chose was the seal stop was better. That's what I voted for.
Well, one that's actually trying to solve a problem.
Exactly, yeah, and it is. So it's a seal stop. You put it on the end of your hose pipe, put it in your bucket on the edge of the bucket, and it stops. It just acts like a stopcock in your toilet, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you can fill your bucket or watering can up and walk away, and it don't overflow and waste water. Yeah, but they are. We all think differently, don't we?
Yeah. But hopefully they'll get a lot of, interest this year because they're a very little company. It's just a husband and wife trying to solve water wastage, basically. So
It's not just water wastage; it's time as well. Like I said, Teresa's got horses, and she's constantly standing holding a hose pipe over a bucket, the water buckets.
Yeah.
Because there's 9 times out of 10 she just leaves it in there and goes off. She forgets to come back, and she's wasted time and God knows how much water. So
probably
it's
overfilled.
really good, Joe. Really, really good. It clips on just about everything.
Anything,
Water
yeah.
butts.
Watering can.
Yeah.
Anything that's got an edge, it'll go on. So any container that you're trying to fill up with a hose, you just put literally clip the hose on like a hose end, and then it just fills up. Once it's full, click, it'll go off.
Brilliant. Stops, isn't it? Yeah, really good.
And as soon as you lift it up again, it'll start again. So as soon as you lift it into another bucket, so if you were doing 2 watering cans, fill one up, go and empty the other one, then come back to swap it over, and it starts.
Perfect. Whenever I normally do that, I'm racing to get back to the other one, so I'm probably not watering everything properly. It's called a seal stop. If you've got 10 seconds, I'll grab mine. Wait there. Talk for 10 seconds.
Yeah, so Seal Stop's the company. I don't know whether there's an actual name for that product because
It's called Seal Stop.
It is called Seal Stop, isn't it? But I wonder whether they're going to have more products because they were looking into other things. They're currently working on a low pressure one that you can attach to on your water butt.
Yeah, that's going to be the game changer.
Which will be a game changer for me down at the allotment. Because obviously if you're using a hose, it's higher pressure, whereas if you use gravity.
I just apologise to our guests quickly because we are just going to show this. We'll be back in a second. Here it is.
I did say quality. There it is.
So they gave me this one to obviously show you lot. Basically what it is, and there'll be a float in there, attach it to your hose, and it just clicks on. I guess you take that off.
You take the yellow bit off, put the grey bit on.
Put that in there. And then it will sit over any reciprocal and fill it up. And that's just a float in there. As it floats up, stops.
And then you can put it in the top.
See, stop water saving device.
Made in Britain.
Really good. I thought it was fantastic. For me, for both of us really, Teresa's got horses and me man the garden, no brainer. Absolutely no brainer. So
yeah, I think you'll be using that a lot this year.
I don't think they're much money either, really. I'm sure 30, 25, 30 quid or something.
Yeah, I was going to say 25 to 30 quid, I think.
Yeah. But it saves you loads of time and loads of water.
Yeah, it's not a product that's going to run out, is it? Once you've got it, you've got it.
That's it. It's there forever then, yeah. Protect from frost as well. Protect from frost. So don't leave it out because it might crack, but they are.
Yeah, mine's
brilliant
inside.
Little kit. I thought, there's a picture of it hanging over the
there you go.
Side of the bucket.
Yeah, it's exactly like a
exactly the same as a ball cock in your toilet.
Very similar,
but on a smaller thing. But yeah, they're trying to make it so it works off a low pressure water butt.
Because that's what I'm guilty of doing that down at the veg garden. You know, you turn one watering can to fill up from the water butt, go and do the other one. By the time you get back to it, it's overflowing. which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
even more annoying because it's rainwater.
Exactly. Don't want to waste a drop of that if you can't help it.
Definitely not.
No, definitely not. So yeah, so we saw that. Well, I thought that was the best product at the press event last week,
Mhm.
and I'm sure lots of other people did. Talking about the press event, we saw our guest from afar a couple of
Yeah.
times, but she was always crowded by God knows how many people round her chatting. So we thought we'd leave her alone. We won't go and bug her because we knew we was having a chat with her this week. So.
Let's get her in then. So tonight
Yeah.
we have an award-winning writer, organic gardener, homesteader, creating wonderful recipes using all homegrown produce. Named as one of the leading women in horticulture in 2025, everybody welcome in Stephanie Haffety.
Good
Oh,
evening.
so
That's simple.
Look at that technology. Hey,
I know.
brilliant, isn't it? Did you see that last week, Steph?
You know, I managed to miss that one.
Oh, I
It's
think it's
crazy,
brilliant.
isn't it? I was there the whole of the day from 9 o'clock and
Yeah,
was one of the last to leave, and you still don't get to see all of it.
I know, I know.
That's all
And
the
to be honest,
see.
I,
That's what.
I had a, I saw Charles Dowding on some people's reels and stories, and I thought I didn't see Charles Dowding. I didn't see his stand. To be honest,
Oh yeah,
it's
he's
just
my.
easy to.
I
Sorry.
have. He's my ex-partner.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, lucky bugger. Lucky bugger.
What for
How
being
are
an?
you, Steph? Anyway.
I'm all right. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, good.
Apologies for the state of the wall behind me. It's the room's about to be decorated.
Oh, don't worry about that. That's why the only shot you ever see of me is this. That's the nicest wall in our whole house.
I usually do these things in another room, but this is the one with the wood burner, so it's warm.
Oh,
If
perfect.
you hear weird rumbling noises, I've got a cat snoring right next to me. It's not my stomach.
Oh, you can't beat a sleeping cat, especially a snoring sleeping cat.
No.
So, how did you get on at the press event then? Was it good?
Yeah, I always enjoy it. It's really nice. It's like the introduction to the year, because you have this gap between the Garden Media Awards in late November, which is like the last time I'd gone to London, and then that's you're seeing everybody and it's all very sociable, and then nothing really for 3 months. I mean, things are happening, but nothing so big. Everything is fairly quiet, and then suddenly you're with everybody again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's lovely. It's always good to see people and see the different things. Um, yeah, and by the end of it, your voice is like this.
I know, because we're supposed to all go there and see all these different companies and view all their, their different new products and things. But it does turn out to be a bit of a big, like you say, the beginning of the season, and everybody's there, and you just sit and chat all day.
Yeah, it's lovely. I always really like it. I've still got to
Yeah,
follow up quite a few things since I got back. So I'm
yeah, that's the
in
thing. I've got a stack of business cards over there and email addresses that I still haven't looked at.
no, I've done a couple, but not all of them.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Right, I'm not going to hang about then. I want to talk about this new book.
I have it here.
Oh, look at that.
Yes.
It's got words in and everything. Yes, I'm very excited about that.
And pictures.
And pictures, yeah. So it's my third book, and it's published in America March 24th, and
Oh,
UK and worldwide March 26th. So this is an early copy that I was sent. I took it with me to the press event as well. Like anybody
I
who
saw you.
run
I saw
away,
you
got to
clutching
hold
it. I
it.
saw you clutching it as you was
Yeah,
walking around.
showing it. Look. So yes, it's. I'm really excited about it coming out. Um, it looks beautiful. It really does look lovely. The design team did an amazing job, and the photographer is Jason Ingram, who's just brilliant. So it does look lovely. and there's lots of information. It's the length that was commissioned. I gave them considerably more than that, and they decided to include it. So I'm hoping, I wanted it to be really good value, so that if you get it, it's a proper read.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I've never written a book. I say obviously, but I've never written a book. So how do you go about it then? Where do you even start?
Actually, I have notepads and pencils.
Really?
I start like that. Everything I write starts with either a pencil, or actually still write with a fountain pen. I think it uses
Wow.
a different part of your brain. So this morning I was writing a fairly short article for a magazine, and it's all planned on paper first, and then I type it up. So it might not be the whole thing, but I've got it all there so that I then structure it while I'm writing it on the computer. And I think you're then using different parts of your brain. And that's why I do it that way. It doesn't work for everybody,
No,
but it's something that works really well for me. So, yeah, so basically most of it was originally planned out on paper.
brilliant. So
I
yeah,
did
so you get. Sorry, go on.
No, I say I did when I was a student. I studied literature, so the idea of sitting down and writing, I've been doing most of my life, which certainly helps.
Oh yeah, I bet definitely.
And back in those days, you had to handwrite all your essays, so that might be where it comes from.
Yeah, I would imagine. So I suppose you got, as soon as something pops into your head, you've got to scribble it down, haven't you? Or that could pop out again.
Oh yeah, I'll forget totally. I
Yeah.
have bits of paper everywhere, notes, sticky notes, backs of envelopes, absolutely everything. Yeah, if I don't write it down, or I'll use on my phone the notes thing. So like
Yes.
I'm in the garden and I have an idea and I haven't got paper there, I put it on my phone. I've even been known to wake up in the night and email myself.
Yeah.
Email yourself. What an amazing idea! I've never thought about that.
That's so that I remember this the first thing to do in the morning when I make my
Yeah,
coffee, open the computer, there's the email to myself.
brilliant.
Remember this idea you had.
I think that's going to be a game changer for me now. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think I just email yourself. Honestly, it's the only way.
yeah, perfect.
Middle of the night emailing.
Brilliant. So that's obviously we all us gardeners. I've got a shelf full of books. I know Mark's got a shelf full of gardening books. Most of us have, but this one is a bit different because it's not just how to garden; it's how to garden, what to make from your what you've grown, different food, and even things down to detergents and things.
Yeah, yeah. So
Unbelievable.
the idea is because it says on the cover, it's essential guide towards self-sufficiency. So I'm not saying it's for people who want to live a completely self-sufficient life. That requires quite a lot of land. It also requires things really like not having a mortgage or rent. And I've got a nice juicy mortgage like most people, and
Yeah.
bills that go up. I've got my house insurance coming up in a few weeks. That's a fright. So the sort of practical realities means it would be very difficult to be completely self-sufficient. But it's towards it. It's just being a bit more self-sufficient, a bit more self-reliant, and it's really good fun. It's kind of making and doing. Every day is a Blue Peter moment, and also it saves money. And I think one of the things is people growing things and then not knowing what to do with them. And it's more than just making dinner and preserving and making wine, which is one of the things I like to do. It's also, you can make body care, home care. There's just so many different things. You can make dyes, you can print with flowers and leaves. So it's yeah, just lots of things to do, which I think it expands on the productivity of your garden.
Yeah. Brilliant. Because that's the big thing about growing your own vegetables, I don't want to have meat and two veg every night. You know, you want to grow it and have the decent recipes as well.
Yeah, my previous book, The Creative Kitchen, that is a lot of plant-based recipes in there, and I wrote that, which was to be basically you could grow everything in the UK.
Yeah,
So if you had an allotment or the bargain bin at Lidl, everything could be made. It wasn't avocados, it wasn't pineapples in there. I
yeah.
like both, but that isn't what I put in there. There was things like black pepper, olive oil, that kind of ingredients that most of us store cupboard, basic
Staples.
store
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
staples. But yeah, so that one was very much about recipes. This one doesn't have, it's not a recipe book. There are recipes for a few things, certain preserves, and the
Mm.
instructions for how to make the crafty, potiony side of it, the products.
That's a good thing. I really would like to get into that the potiony. I don't want to say witchy, but you know that making things and
I think it's something that people would have just needed to learn anyway because
mm,
to get through life. And it's something that has very much been lost in lots of situations the past 100 years or so. Um, and a lot of us are thinking, actually, hang on a minute, we don't want to go back to the days when we didn't have the NHS. That is incredibly used. Modern medicine's brilliant, but
oh
it is
yeah,
nice to know what herbs in the garden will soothe your throat, or what you need in order to dye some fabric blue, which isn't in this book. That might be in another one. But
oh
I know. Uh, so I think it's that side of things, and that sort of make do and mend and create resilience, which, as I say, it saves money, but it's not about being all doom and gloom. It's also really creative and good fun. There's
mm,
quite a lot of people talking these days about living a more analog life, which you could say with me, I handwrite things a lot, so I
mm,
still have a lot of roots with the pre-computer existence
mm.
um, that everyone had when I was growing up. Though I did actually go on my first computer when I was 7. That was quite unusual in those days.
Wow,
Um, but it's this sort of disconnecting from social media, from computers, from this constant feed of instant,
yeah,
accessibility we get through phones and computers, which I like. I like that
mm,
to an extent, but being able to do some of these things, it's connecting with something that we have done for thousands of years, whether it's growing your food or finding what to do. If you had a garden, when I moved to Wiltshire and then Somerset when my children were very, very little, um, the houses we bought were ex-council houses.
yeah,
And in those days, in the 1920s when these were built, rural council houses had long gardens which were big enough to grow vegetables, have some fruit trees, keep chickens, and by the standards of those days, keep a pig. And
mm,
the idea was that the rural poor would also be able to produce things to help sustain themselves with their much lower incomes. And it's that again as an idea is something that has very much been lost. Gardens are getting smaller and smaller, but you can still connect with these old traditions, through community gardens or parklands. My daughter lives in London. She was at the garden press event, and she is, they have a community farm and gardens near where they live. So wherever you are, there is the possibility to have this connection with the sort of traditions and outdoor life and just being part of something more real, which
yeah.
is being outside and in nature.
Definitely, yeah.
And
Talking
I
about
think,
nature, also you mention in the book, you talk about nature, and I know biodiversity is a big thing
yeah.
in your life as well.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's a crucial part of gardening, and if you haven't got the right biodiversity, then there's going to be an imbalance. And
Mm.
fortunately, it's something that is so easy and so accessible. So, Jason, did you meet up with Jason Cloud Gardener at the press event?
Not this time. We have done before, yeah.
Yeah, so on his balcony, he's not only producing food, he is the amount of wildlife he attracts right up on, I forget how high it is, 15 stories or something in
Yeah.
Manchester. Um, so it's attracting all different kinds of creatures. So a simple thing is if you have brassicas growing and going to flower, they'll attract beneficial predators such as hoverflies,
Mm.
which in turn will eat or keep in balance your aphids. So I never worry about aphids because beneficial predators, and also at the moment, um, today when I was out in the garden, the hedgerows are full of little birds all bobbing about, getting really excited. It's been lovely here today. And
Yeah.
soon, before we know it, they'll start having chicks, and these little birds are going to need a huge amount of insects in order to feed their young,
Mm.
and having those in the area, they help balance out any aphids I get. So if I don't have aphids, their chicks are not going to have any food. So it's working out this balance. It's not seeing anything as awful and horrible. It's apart from Asian hornets. Obviously, we don't want those because
No, no.
they're not good. They're from not indigenous to the country, but and through that you can grow in a really kind way with nature, and it makes it more lovely because you're sitting in the garden and things are buzzing and tweeting, and even slugs need love. They
Yeah.
can just be, I can feel fondly of them away from my lettuces.
Yeah. Talking about nature and things at the moment, we were walking the dogs earlier, and I was looking at the ivy and everything down the hedgerows, and there's so many berries left on.
Mm.
I guess it's just because we haven't had a harsh winter at all.
No, there was that bit for a while, wasn't there? But no, it hasn't been weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, but we've got
No,
to whisper it because we don't want winter to come back. I
no.
think after the rain this year, we've all had enough, and we'd quite like some dry weather and some spring. I
Oh,
don't want,
definitely.
sometimes can happen in March and you get really, really hard frosts or snow. We don't want that.
I think that's what we all call the fake spring or the false spring, don't we? We all get
Yeah,
dragged into it, and all of a sudden it bang, it's got you again.
yeah. Today, particularly if a day like today happens at a weekend when more people are likely to be at home, then you get attack of the people sowing their tomatoes. And it's like, if you've only sown six, that's going to be something you can keep those going. But if you've sown 40, you're only going to leave those alive till May. So, and it's things like that. You get the urge. It's lovely. The sun is here. I'm now going to grow melons. I'll be picking bananas by the end of the week. But but no.
Oh, that's true, though, isn't it? You do see people sowing tomatoes now. I've sown chilies and aubergines and peppers, but yeah, they need to because they need that extra bit of length, the
Yeah.
time. But not
It's
tomatoes, not yet, not
No,
needed.
because in my greenhouse, which is very small, it came with the house. I'm glad to have it, but it's less than half the size of the one I had where I lived before. So it's kind of like getting everything in there, particularly in April, like fitting it all in.
Yeah,
And so aubergines, chilies, and peppers were sown in January, but I have electricity in there, so I have heat mats, and I'm
yeah.
trying to just keep one of them going at the moment. Very soon, I will need both, but
Mm,
for economy, and this is because I grow a lot of aubergines, it's not a sensible thing to do. but I am a garden writer, so I am working out what will grow well here. And it's not an ideal climate for aubergines, West Wales, really.
No.
So, but I make a lot of microclimates within my undercover spaces. So I'm lucky that I have 2 polytunnels. In West Wales, many things have to be grown in polytunnels that to get a really big crop, that in Somerset I'd have just grown outside, like courgettes.
Yeah.
You can grow them outside. They grow really well under cover. Um, and so I make microclimates within there. Those plastic greenhouses that when the wind blows, they fly away. They're like a shelf.
Don't they call them a zippy?
Yeah, those things. I've got 2
Yeah.
of those in the greenhouse, which gives me all that extra space. But also, if I close the doors, they are so, because the greenhouse isn't heated, just the mats. It just makes it that much warmer. So when it has got to the point that everything's been potted on, they can go in there and they don't need heat and they won't die if it gets really cold at night. And I do a similar thing in the polytunnels, these little grow houses, just to create extra warm space, because our last frost can be well into May.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, so like a greenhouse within a greenhouse.
Exactly, yeah.
Double glazing almost type thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, my greenhouse at the moment is so warm. I quite fancy staying in there. It's warmer than my house.
I know, it's lovely. I was in my polytunnel on Sunday sowing some more chilies and bits and bobs, and it's just lovely. I could just shut the door, and it's just our space, isn't it?
Oh, it's so nice, yes.
Yeah. Not being in there for a few months is it certainly perks you back up again.
And in my bigger polytunnel, I've got peaches and nectarines, and they're small.
Oh,
I can't keep them small, obviously, so they grow through.
Yeah.
And they're just in like little pink buds. So they're just about to flower. So I'll be in there with a paintbrush.
Yeah, I do that. I've got a peach, and I tickle it with a paintbrush every year.
Yeah. There's
Brilliant.
just something about the flavour of a homegrown peach.
You can't beat it. Warm straight off the tree. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
I know.
Absolutely the best thing. Well, I say the best thing. I get just as excited about a warm tomato straight off the vine as well.
Yeah, I do like that. And I really like new greens in the spring. You eat them and you can just feel your body going, I forgive you for the 12 million roast potatoes you've eaten all winter.
I know what you mean. Yeah, definitely. What I am interested in, you said about your aubergines, and I have, over the last couple of weeks, I've been listening to different podcasts that you've been on over the years. Tell us about your aubergines, because you are really into your aubergines.
I really like them, yes. I think it's because they're tricky to grow. And my dad has lived in Southeast Asia for, 20 years, maybe more than that. He was in California before then. So I get a bit blurred. Warm and sunny, basically.
Lovely.
And where he's lived in Asia, I really like food, as you might have gathered. It opened up ways of using different aubergines in ways that I hadn't thought of before. In Thailand, you have the round green ones, the long thin ones, and pea aubergines as well, which are incredible little bitter things. And fortunately, in more recent years, seed companies are offering more varieties. So it's gone from being able to just get the big purple ones and sometimes the round orange, yellow, I can't even talk, white ones with the kind of pale purple on the top. There's so many, Turkish orange, which are quite small, and bright orange with stripes, and some that look just like eggs. So you can see why Americans call them eggplants.
Yeah.
And so I do grow some, I think this year there's 5 or 6, which are what you'd imagine an aubergine to look like in a supermarket, more or less. And that's literally, I'm finding out which ones are good to grow here still, working this out. But but also it's all the different shapes and colours. And some are open pollinated, so they're heritage, and some are F1 hybrids, because we are in the UK, which isn't ideal aubergine growing. And so that's the main reason. I get a lot of pleasure from it. I love eating them. I like the way that they grow in Thailand. They're perennial, and you're walking in the village where Dad lived there when he was living there. They'd be at the ends of people's gardens, these massive aubergine bushes, all the fruit, and the different textures. You know, some you can eat raw, some the white ones that are quite big, about this big. Those, if you slice them, you can cook them like a steak. They've got that kind of meaty texture. So if you're making something and you want to make something vegetarian or vegan, they're ideal. You're not because you've got that texture of cutting into something, chewing something, but it's an aubergine and you can grow it in your garden, depending where you are in the UK. I mean, most of them want to be in a polytunnel.
Yeah.
The other, a joy. And
I grew.
if you only grow one, if you live in a tricky area and you only want one and you want the purple ones, then I do recommend getting grafted aubergines.
Oh, okay.
They are superb. They grow really fast. They're on a root stock that grows really vigorously, and you'll just get more. So if it was just the one and you haven't sown your seeds yet, get grafted ones. They're usually a pound or two each, but they're great. And as far as, I don't know if we're allowed to name companies.
Of course, yes.
So I've had them, not this year because I've run out of my aubergine quota with seeds, but I haven't got that much space here. I'd have nothing else. Mr. Fothergill's, I've had their grafted aubergines the past 2 or 3 years, and they are really good, healthy plants. And the nice thing is they come, all of them, which wherever you buy them from, they come in April or May. You can usually choose. And so you miss that bit of trying to keep them alive for 3 months.
Yeah.
In weather when they're going, why are you doing this to me? I hate you. Take me on holiday. You skip all of that.
Like Mr. Fothergill's doing.
They are really good. They're great. Yeah.
Oh, good idea. I'm gonna have a look at that. I've only sown 2. I can't remember the varieties, but they were a big purple one, like you see in the supermarket, and a long white one again. Because last year I grew the long white one, about 8 inches, and and they were lovely. They were
gorgeous.
Really, really good.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And of course, you've got to have the big purple ones for your masakas and things. You know, the normal things. Yeah.
And there's one which I've not grown before. So it's a long, thin one. So I've done the green and the white, but this one is a violet. So it's not purple, it's violet. So I can't tell you if it's any good or not, because it's the first year that I've grown it. But it's this big in the greenhouse. But that one, the colour just looks amazing. And imagine cooking with the white and the green and that violet.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yum.
But aren't some of them vicious? The spines on them.
Yeah.
Really, really vicious.
Yes, they like to attack you.
You put your hand through to try and, get one off. Oh God.
Yes. The joys of gardening. I'm all being well at the weekend. I'm all being well in as much weather-wise. I'm going to pick gorse blossom from the fields. And that, oh my goodness.
That is spiky.
You've got to go in really carefully. And it takes ages to just get quite a small amount. But it tastes of coconut. What's not to love?
Flower.
Yeah. If you infuse it, the blooms, in white rum, you get a pale yellow coconut flavoured rum.
Wow.
It's worth getting spiked for that.
Guess where I'm going at the weekend.
You can infuse it in creams and milks to add to puddings, get that coconut flavour. You can infuse it in cordials to make a non-alcoholic coconut drink. There's some monks on an island in Wales who use it to make, they sell a perfume. I keep meaning to go to this island to try the perfume because that
Wow.
smelling of a coconut, that'd be all right.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Definitely going to try that because we've got loads of gorse around here. Absolutely loads.
Yes, it's amazing. And just being something that smells like coconut growing wild, that's just wonderful, isn't it? But you've
Brilliant.
got
Yeah.
to obviously leave enough for the wild things.
Oh, definitely.
But it's too, you wouldn't be able to pick it all anyway. You'd just get spiked to death.
Yeah. What always makes me wonder how they do it when we're out for dog walks and the muntjac and the deer run straight through.
I know.
They go, well, they obviously got really tough skins, haven't they? Must have.
Apparently, the reason why there's so much where I am is because it was a really good sheep boundary. Sheep eat it. They eat the tender shoots. How, I do not know. Horses eat it.
Mm.
Why?
There's better things.
Yeah, exactly. You can use it to clean your chimneys, apparently. I've not tried that, but if you dry it, or even green, it works, but dried gorse, really good firelighter, it just goes.
Oh, wow.
Many things you can do with gorse. There's a funny story about a man finding himself trapped in the middle of a whole load of gorse. You can look it up on the internet. And he was coming back from the pub along a coastal path, I think, but drunk, fell off, and that's how he ended up in the middle. And it was a dog walker or something, heard his cries for help. And they had to cut him out, like cut the bush to get him.
Come and get a strimmer and let me out.
I mean, imagine that, waking up with a hangover and you're completely surrounded.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch.
Yes.
Talking about coconut, and this will bring me on to another little part of your life. I was at Charles Dowding's a couple of years ago, and we were standing near his house waiting to be served our food. And he's got a fig tree grown up against the house. And somebody said, try one of those fig leaves. So I just took a fig leaf off, crushed it and ate it. Tastes exactly like coconut.
You can infuse fig leaves in things. There's lots of recipes for fig leaves, but one thing with fig is you can get phytophotodermatitis from it.
Oh, wow.
The
That
leaf.
sounds bad.
Doesn't it? It took me a while to learn that word. It's a rash. It's a reaction of moisture and sunlight and some property in the figs. I don't get it from figs so far, but I do get it from parsnips. So I have to be super careful. Parsnips are one of the worst for it. And you won't know you've got it till the next day when you have these big blisters, which then, I mean, they're really painful. And it can scar for ages. So do be careful.
So it's what from, not from eating it, from the leaves?
From handling it, picking them.
Wow.
So it's an inch. So I've had it quite bad from parsnips. You can get it from other things as well. Phytophotodermatitis, there's a word to learn. So if it's late, let's say, midsummer, late summer, and it's wet and it's sunny and you want to weed your parsnips, sleeves and gloves while you're doing it. Just because all it needs is a little bit.
Oh, good tip. Good tip.
And it seems that the more you're gardening, the more likely it is that you'll pick these things up. This is what I was told by Penelope Hobhouse, who is a garden designer. She must be 90 odd now. But she told me that things that she used to be able to handle in her youth, once she got into her 80s, 70s and 80s, she was starting to react. So there you are. You'll be itching.
Wow. Yeah. Let's talk about your garden then, Steph, shall we? Your allotment. So you've obviously got an allotment and had it for quite a while, I believe.
I had an allotment. I had an allotment in Somerset. And here, when I moved to Wales in 2021, so almost 5 years ago, the house has, with the where the house is, the whole plot is about half an acre.
Oh,
So I
lovely.
don't need so basically my allotment is outside the back door now, which is ever
Brilliant.
so handy.
Yeah. So you moved to your new house and you had a fresh start.
Exactly. Yeah. So we got the keys. So I moved here. My two boys were still at university, so they officially moved house with me, and got the keys on the 17th of March. Stayed the first night on the 19th of March, and I started the first bed on March the 31st.
Did you really? So just straightened the house out enough and then got straight in the garden.
Yeah, so I was like unpacking some boxes and then laying the cardboard down as a mulch on the lawn.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
When I moved, we had so I had all the stuff of like 20 years in the house I'd lived in, and my three children, because even though my daughter wasn't living there, had some of her stuff as well. So we had a removal van, and of course this is during lockdown, so it was nothing was
Mm.
easy then. And then there was like a half van attached to it, which the garden went into. So I had trees in pots, plants in, I had weeds in pots for biodiversity, all the
Yeah.
garlic, because I'd had an allotment there and a garden. So I had doubled up quite a lot of things, but I brought it all anyway. So all of that came. And then I quite friendly with Dalefoot Composts, and I managed to arrange for them to send me a whole load of compost, because of course a lot of the things that I paid for it obviously, but a lot of the things that you normally would do when you move, the connections you'd make, finding out things, you weren't allowed to like go and talk to
Oh,
anybody really.
no, no, of course.
So that's why I bought it in from some people I knew could deliver really good peat-free compost, so I could get going. And I had a box, big plastic box with all my seeds in my old. So it's because it's March. I had my seed potatoes chitting in my old house, and they went in another box. Came out, went on a windowsill, and I had those in my car with me because I didn't want to lose the seeds or the chitting potatoes. TV and everything, oh, that could just get lost, but not my seeds.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Those
So from
priorities, right?
having an allotment for so long and then leaving it to move to a fresh canvas, did you change the way you set it out or how you did it from the previous allotment?
Um, Sort of, because I also was growing in my back garden where I lived before, and because I was raising kids on my own and um, quite a low income most of the time, so I was growing as much food as I possibly could. And as the children got older, more and more of the garden became vegetables. And so the first thing my kids did, having much bigger plot here than we had before, was choose an area and say to me, I mean, my kids are in their 20s, actually, daughter's in her 30s, was choose an area and say, you are not growing here. Because there was no way you could sit outside in our old garden. You had to like perch on a plant pot, hardly anywhere because it was growing so much food. So they like chose this area. This is our space, this is where we can have a barbecue or sling up some hammocks and things. So,
Yeah,
so there is
lovely.
a family area. So that was a big difference, making sure there was somewhere that people could actually go. um, and the back garden, I did it. So from the house, you go through the back garden, and there's a gate into what we call the orchard because it has apple trees in it. And I started making the beds vertically, sort of from the back door as you're looking out, because it looked really flat. And compared with a hillside in Wales, it is really flat. I made them that way, but with the way the weather's been the past 2 years, with the amount of rain that is more than is normal for Wales. I'm getting this from like the farmers who've lived here, were
Yeah.
born, in this village 80 odd years ago. The weather, we're getting much more storms across the UK. We're getting much more heavy rain. Um, and I realised that actually what I thought was a fairly level garden it's not that slope, but it's sloped. And
Yeah.
the really bad weather makes this noticeable. So everything was growing fine, but it was when it was really, really heavy. And although it does all drain away, because I'm on a hill, and it's no dig garden, so the soil's good, um, it it wasn't right. So I'm now this winter moving everything horizontal. So it's actually running with the slope, even though you can't see it much. So you've always got to adapt. I think you've got to look at the situation, see what is being said to you by the garden, and think, okay, this wasn't the right way to do it. It seemed to be the right way based on what I could tell, but actually they're going to be better that way. They'll drain better. Whereas in the orchard, everything's that way because that's what automatically made sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, brilliant.
And I keep making more beds every year. I made another one today.
Did you? What,
Yeah.
you just decided, right, I think I need another one, that's it, cardboard,
Yeah, basically,
compost.
yeah. Yes. It is I'm trying to grow as much food as possible. And there's a couple of areas which are tiny little gardens, like out the front. My front garden's very, very small. Those I haven't really done anything to, and those are going to get, one of them's going to get planted out with everything that's food for birds, because that's outside my office and that's where I feed birds. And the other one is going to be a lot more herbs because it's super sunny there and quite free draining. So yeah, there's always things to do.
Yeah, it definitely is. What are you planning on growing this year then?
Everything.
Any specifics?
Well, everything. Everything I possibly can.
A lot of people I know
just rattle off. I really do grow a lot of different stuff.
But a lot of people I know grow things that they don't eat, they don't like for some strange reason.
Yeah, I don't do that. No. No. I mean, every year there'll be something that I might be trying to see what I think, and it might be really good or it might be a bit indifferent. So there's always those things, but it would be like there's, maybe a new type of tomato that actually wasn't that great, but I've got dozens of other kinds of tomatoes. So if you've got a tomato that's a bit boring, you just make it into a salsa or something like that. You put a lot of flavour with it, put chili in there, lots of herbs, and then you can kind of forget that it's not such a nice tomato. But I don't choose to grow an unpleasant tomato. It's just, I'm going to try this one now.
Exactly. You have to try them to find the good ones, and something that you might think's amazing, I might I might not like.
Exactly. So I grow a lot of tomatoes that are really good for preserves. The different types of plum types of tomatoes that are great for canning. I've got a water bath canner, and somebody else might really not want those. They might mostly want cherries because they've got young children. Yes. And they know that they can serve them those every day and they'll hoover them up. And that's the great thing as well with the amount of choice we have, is you can get things that please you and your family rather than only being able to get Moneymaker or whatever that red tomato was called. I do like having some with the groovy colours because they look so nice. I love a lovely big fat beef steak tomato because you make a tomato sandwich with some basil in, and that's so good. And it's nice to be able to stuff them. Stuffed tomato is joyful.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I just like.
You can't beat one slice is big enough for a sandwich. Perfect.
Yeah,
you can't beat that.
It's just so lovely when you get the first one. Do you want to cut into it? How can
you? Tomatoes are my favourite. I say it practically every week. Tomatoes are my favourite thing to grow. And that first one that you think, There's a red one. I'm
Yeah.
not taking that. I'm not taking that in the house for anybody else.
No, no, no. No, I'm a bit like that with some things. The first
Yeah,
raspberries, oh, no, they've gone.
I know. There's so many things. You hear people say, "Oh, I walk round and I have a little something around the garden." There's so many things you can eat walking around the allotment or the veg
Mm.
garden, can't you, without even bringing it in. One
So,
of them that people say to me, "No, you can't do that." Corn on the cob. I love it. The best ripe corn on the cob. Peel it and eat it raw. It's the best taste ever.
oh, lovely.
So sweet. It's so sweet. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I do like them cooked in kind of
Yeah.
butter.
Oh,
Or
I still
roasted,
love that as well.
barbecued. Oh my goodness.
Barbecued, fantastic. Yeah.
Oh yes.
All black and
Oh, lovely.
yeah,
It's
really, really nice.
yeah. There's so many things that you can just put on the barbecue, like quartered cabbage or a whole lettuce. Oh,
Definitely
yum.
love purple sprout and broccoli on the just each on the
Oh yeah. It's the thing with broccoli is that charring round the edge where it gets black a bit. And that,
mm,
oh my goodness, that is just so savory and
yeah,
crunchy and delicious.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're getting so into the food. But that's what we love. That's what we love doing. We love that's. I love my normal garden, the back garden, but my allotment is everything to me.
It's just, yeah, it's, I remember when my children were teenagers, obviously they are becoming their own people and they don't want to uh, have anything to do with the garden because, it's boring, it's what mum does kind of thing, like normal teenagers. And one day I overheard my eldest son in the polytunnel, they must have been 16, 17 years old, with his mates taking them round and doing tastes of the tomatoes. And this is what, and talking almost as if it like he was helping grow it. But I thought
Yeah.
cucumbers, slices of like just picking all this stuff and feeding it to his mates. And I thought this is brilliant because
Mm,
they're enjoying this fresh food
yeah.
and that physical act. Obviously, my kids knew where the food came from, but the physical act of picking, tasting, smelling the leaves, because you don't get that with shop bought tomatoes. You don't get that
No.
smell as you brush against the leaves.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not. But that's the thing. He's listened to everything you've told him before because he's now repeating it, and he's proud of it to be showing his friends. Must be.
Yeah. Well, I say this was a while ago. He's 29 now.
Well, I'm still. I bet he's even more proud of it now.
Yeah,
Got
actually,
to
he's a
be.
mycologist. He studies fungi, so,
Well, they
so
are then.
I got him in the end. He studies soil.
Perfect. Perfect. Let's talk a little bit about you then. What do you do for a living? What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
I'm a writer, so
We know you
mostly
write books, but
I write books, I write articles for magazines. So, like this month, I'm in Amateur Gardening, Kitchen Garden, and um, Gardener's World magazine. So, I'm a feature writer. Some of them I write as a regular monthly columnist, and some it's freelance work. Um, I give talks. I teach gardening and homesteading skills, so that's all the making and doing. I teach plant-based food. I'm not actually vegan, but I think one of the joys of growing your own is to include more plants in your diet. And also, it is much healthier for us and it's healthier for the planet. So, if my cat's trying to knock my little tripod over, he is not interested in plant-based food, my cat.
no, I bet.
Um, so, I teach that, I run courses. I do like 703 jobs, really, like most freelancers.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So we've spoken quite a bit about your new book. What about the other two books that you've written? Tell us about those.
Well, the first book I wrote in 2017, so that was quite a while ago, and the other one I was mentioning earlier, um, uh, the book of plant-based recipes. Sorry, I
Yeah,
go to bed about 8 o'clock. It's after 8 o'clock. I'm losing the ability to speak now.
I know what you mean.
Plant-based recipes, so that was Creative Kitchen. There was quite a big gap, so that came out in 2018. There was a bit of a gap between that and this book, mainly because I moved, and there was a lot going on, and
Yeah,
I do practically everything on my own. So there's the polytunnels were put up by professionals, and every now and then, one of my kids will help with something. I've got some pruning to do, and that's a job because I've got the cool tools. It's a job my kids will help with. Um,
yeah.
but pretty much everything is just me. So it's like working out your priorities. You can't be a garden writer and not have a garden. So I had to focus on that. But yeah, so it's a multitude of jobs.
Quite full on by the sounds of it.
It is rather. It kind of goes in like flows, because you get times when it's like completely mad because you're writing and then everything's needing sewing and potting on, and
Yeah,
it's 7 o'clock and you realise you haven't had your tea yet and things like that. But so I'm actually going away for a few days next week, just to pause before
lovely.
the sewing and the pricking out and everything.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Talking about pricking out, I don't. That's one of the jobs I don't like. A lot of people love pricking out, but
But
I find it tedious.
I think I find it really calming and sort of meditative. I find it very relaxing. And
Mm,
I think, because I don't do yoga and those types of things, well, I'm not knocking them, it's just I don't.
mm,
I think that's my version. I like it because it's quite calm and still, and a busy time of year gives you those times of, no, this is what I'm going to do. You've got to be really present, otherwise you kill your seedlings. Um, and I love it. I
yeah,
mean, I don't love it after 4 hours. When I used to work in market gardens and things, by the end of the day, I was sick of it that
yeah.
day, then I'd like it again the next day.
Of course.
But I mean, there's ways round it. Obviously, you can sow seeds into little modules and then just thin them out. There's
Yeah,
ways of doing it if you really don't like it at all.
I
But
think that's what I'm doing more and more of. Doing a lot more module sewing, just so I can pick the plug up and move it on.
yeah, whereas, yeah, and also the thing, like with, I don't know, growing lots of chilies and aubergines and sweet peppers. Now, I don't grow so many sweet peppers, maybe 6 varieties. Um, you can start it all off in one seed tray, and you've got loads. You can get like 20 different varieties in there.
Mm.
And then for that period of time, they only need that much heated
Yes.
before. So it means that by the time they get pricked out, I'm also choosing the best. But and then I've got to start using the whole heat mat.
Yeah.
It kind of saves space. It saves heat for things that need heat. So there's that side of it as well. So,
Yeah.
but today I was pricking out brassicas. So of course they're in the greenhouse, but they don't need to be on warmth. They're quite chirpy, just sitting on the
Yeah.
bench, and burying them up to their little necks so they grow on.
That makes perfect sense because I've got 6 heat mats with all my little individual trays instead of, yeah, like you say, one with everything in, because so it does make sense.
Well, it's also, it's what you like doing as well, and also time.
Yeah.
This time of year, I'm mostly based around here, except when I go to things like go to London for work, and I do travel for work. But February, I'm mostly around here, so I can walk out, I can prick out, even if, well, unless there's a storm, because it's scary. I don't stand in a greenhouse in a storm.
No, not a glass
That
one,
would be
definitely
a
not.
bit silly. Um, but if you've only got Sunday afternoon every week, because if you're working a job where you're leaving in the dark and coming home in the dark,
Mm.
then the way I do things might not necessarily work effectively for you. It might be much better to, do things slightly differently or do things a bit later. There's no one way of doing anything, which is
No,
one of the brilliant things I think about gardening.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think another reason, if I didn't sow so many seeds, it wouldn't be so daunting when it comes to pricking out.
I'm scared of my tomato stash at the moment. I'm terrified of sowing it. It's grown. It
I
grew at the
know.
garden press event.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? And I brought two actual plants home from the press event as well. I'm trying to keep them alive now.
Oh, don't mind. So I got one of them from Rob's store. And
Yes.
so I brought home not the red one with the thin skin, because I knew that wouldn't be quite what I would want, but I thought I'd try the other.
The yellow one.
The poor little thing, after the London Underground and then coming back on the train in a granny bag on wheels. Oh, yours is, yeah, no, mine doesn't look like that.
My yellow one's all right, but my red one is terrible.
Oh, yours is one to be proud of.
I was just seeing
That's
some of
good,
the
Matt.
pictures that people were putting up the day after, and it was like they'd looked like they'd been dragged through a hedge backwards. didn't
Mine does. Oh, it looks so sad. So yes, it's
My red one's got one leaf on it, and I'm just willing it to start sprouting a few more.
well, I put it in a saucer because it was really dry when I got
They
home.
were really dry.
Yeah, I put it in a saucer of water on the radiator to like warm it up. And then it's now in the greenhouse on the heat mats to be friends with the aubergines. I thought maybe they'll encourage it, but it looks so sad. Poor little thing.
Yeah. They'll be all right. They'll pick up.
Well, it either will or it'll die.
Exactly. Right, Steph, give us a bit of a rundown about your new book, what it's about, and where we can find it.
Okay, so The Productive Garden is in 3 sections. So there's, I have to get my specs now because I can't remember what I wrote. Part 1 is in the garden. Part 2, that's the thing, but when I finished it, it's like my friends were asked, because you don't tell anybody what your book's about for ages. It's like the thing these days. So we called it the Book of Beetroot, because it wasn't a book just about beetroot, but that's what it was known as. And then it was like, okay, can you tell us what it is? And I was like, I can't remember. I've spent so long writing it, I don't know what I put. Right, I remember now, obviously. Anyway, part 1's in the garden, so it's all about sowing, propagation, how to set up your garden or ways you can. Part 2 is seasonal produce, so that's things like vegetables, fruit, herbs, and edible flowers. Part 3 is using your harvests, so that's the making and doing the homegrown larder, natural home. And then there's a small part 4, which is kind of useful resources. So there's recommending reading. So for like with the preserving, there's the list of some of the preserving books that I use and recommend, because this isn't a book of entirely of recipes, and a sowing and harvesting schedule and things like that. And so you can get it everywhere, really. So pre-orders are open now, and pre-orders again are quite a new thing compared with when I last wrote a book. And it really, really helps authors, which is why authors go on about pre-orders. It helps encourage places to stock them. So you can order from me directly if you wanted a signed copy on my website. I'm really easy to find, because the name that was a right pain when I was a little girl, because it was so much, really long and had like so many syllables, learning to write, actually is quite handy, because I think I'm the only one in the country with my name. So Stephanie Haffety, you'll find me.
So just pop straight up.
Yeah, that's really you. Like, thank you, parents. This was good. in the end. And also you can pre-order from all the major places. Online, you can order through your local bookshop, and you should also be able to order through your library.
Brilliant.
Every
Fantastic.
year I get a little, I mean, it's better than nothing, pays a bill, but I get a bonus into my bank account from people taking my books out of the library. And it's only
Really?
a few pence at a time, but it adds up. And then
Oh.
you get like, oh, this is nice.
So that's like a royalty, what the
Like a
music
baby
people get.
royalty, yeah. Compared with a royalty, it's tiny.
Oh, I
But
never knew that even happened.
yeah, so it's why, there's getting books out of libraries does help authors too.
Wow, I never knew that. That's amazing. So it should do as well.
Yeah, it should, but
Yeah.
it does. So that's great.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Well, I've had a fantastic hour and a half,
It's
but you're
been
not quite
lovely to
finished.
chat.
Not quite finished. If you're all right for another few minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Mark's going to hit you with a few lightning
to read
round questions. No.
I'll read them.
I've actually just seen the comment from Jenny Wren.
What did Jenny say?
At least you have a hobby. Actually, has anybody got any questions for Steph before we...
That one is to do with at the Garden Press event. So there was my name tag there was a mistake. Instead of putting what I did under my name was there twice, which was okay. So it just meant if they didn't know me, it'd be, well, what do you do? So I went to this particular store, which I'm not going to mention who, and they said, what do you do? So I said, well, I'm a garden and food writer and an author. And I said, these are the magazines I've written for this month. And I have my book with me, as you know, like, look, it's real. And so we're at an event where you have to be a member of Garden Media in order to be able to go. You have to apply to get a ticket.
Yeah.
So my daughter wasn't there because she was with me. She was there because she's a scientific journalist that specialises in things to do with, that relates to garden media.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm saying what I do. And the young man looked at me and said, it's nice to have a hobby.
I shouldn't laugh, but...
No, well, yeah, actually, I think I did laugh incredulously. But anyway, I was like, it's my job. It's how I pay the mortgage.
Side hustle.
Yeah, so that's what it's about, because I did a reel about it, because it happens too often that people make assumptions, particularly if you do something like in garden. It's not too little, for some people it is a hobby and there's nothing wrong with that at all, but also it can be a job as well.
It just undervalues everything, doesn't it?
That's that comment.
Terrible. Right. Absolutely terrible. Right, lightning round.
There is one question in the question box asking which variety of beefsteak tomato would you recommend?
Oh, that's a good question, because I can't remember now. Can I message you, because I can't get my seed down? I do a few, and there's a really nice big one that I get from, I think it's the Welsh Seed Hub, and I've completely forgotten its name. I do recommend, so I live in Wales, so anywhere with a climate like mine, actually anywhere in the UK, but somewhere where growing conditions are a bit trickier, small seed companies like the Welsh Seed Hub, Real Seeds, Seeds of Scotland, they're all open pollinated heritage varieties, but they've also been grown in areas which are less favourable. So they're more resilient to shorter growing seasons, greyer skies, colder weather. And so they're really, really good companies to support, because you can get some amazing varieties, and they are going to be happy even in our unpredictable weather.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Real
That's
seeds are
always
all good
always a
quality.
good thing. Mm, yeah. Do you save many seeds?
Quite a lot, yeah. As many as is humanly possible. So a lot of them, so tomatoes I do. I always make sure they're properly labelled. So the few I have that are F1s, I don't save from them. Tomatoes
Yeah.
are really easy to save. So that's a good one to do. Peas are really easy. Um, some things, beans I struggle with here because the autumn, it gets to September and it's almost like nature goes, right, that's your lot then. And the damp. So beans are a bit trickier to get them dry. So that's more of a faff. I do grow them for eating, drying beans, but
hmm
they are a bit more of a palaver to get them lovely so that they'll store properly. Lettuce is a really easy one to save.
Yeah.
I never save the seed from courgettes or squash because of the risk of cross-pollinating. You can, if you go on the Real Seeds website, under squash and courgettes, they will tell you how to do it so that to protect the flower, so that there's no cross-pollination. But I haven't got the time for that at the moment. One day, when it is my hobby, I'll be able to maybe have the time to do that. I think it would be, if you can trust people, it would be nice to have, like on an allotment site, to each person choose one thing that they're going to save the seed of and share it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you can trust them, because some things you've got to protect. And, you know, not everything is easy to save seed from, and you want to make sure that they know what they're doing. And some plants, like beetroot, you need to have several in order for the seeds, several going to flower, in order for the seeds to be really good quality.
Yeah.
So, but that would be a good thing to do, because then you're saving money, but also you're getting seeds that have grown in that location, and you start to get, doing it year on year, you get a land race. So I'm growing beans here that have been grown, varieties of runner beans that have been grown in Wales for decades. And they become, you get properties that they just like being in that area more.
Mm.
Definitely.
Yeah. Definitely. Brilliant. Excellent. Right.
The lightning round.
Go for it.
First one, flowers or edibles? I think I know the answer.
Edibles.
Every time.
Anybody could have answered that one.
Beach or forest?
Beach. I love being on the beach. I live quite near the beach. I like paddleboarding. I'm rubbish. I sit on it, but I like it.
That's really hard, especially when there's waves.
Yeah, I can do paddleboarding on lakes. It's flat. I think because I've got big feet, I'm quite good balance. But in the sea, I've got an oar, double-ended one. I just pretend I've got a kayak then, and I go bombing along.
People always make it look easy, and then you have a go, and it's like, this isn't easy.
Yeah. I watched this couple once. I was at a place called Munt, which is beautiful bay. And if you go there at sunset, you get to the sunsets over the water, but the dolphins come up.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
So with
wow.
their binoculars on the cliff watching. And this couple, bless their hearts, wearing shorts and a bikini, going out on a paddleboard into the sunset. And of course, as soon as the sun goes down, the temperature drops.
Freezing.
And they were only young, and it must have felt so lovely going off towards the dolphins.
Yeah.
But why didn't you wear a wetsuit? But I suppose they were young, they didn't feel the cold, so
They will next time.
yeah.
Next one, go-to emoji in a text message.
Oh, I get a bit frustrated with them. I do try to use them, but I find them such a palaver, because you've got to go to the little thing, type in the thing you're thinking, then you realise you've done it wrong. I like the one which is the screen, because that sums up quite a lot of things. And I always put the wrong thing in. I get sort of like monster things instead. So I just would, yeah, I quite like exclamation marks. I still do smiley faces using punctuation.
Oh, yeah. Look, we had to in the old days.
Yeah.
Much simpler. If you could only have one snack for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Chocolate.
Oh.
Any favourite chocolate?
Plain. A dark chocolate, high chocolate count, no weird stuff in, as in, properly made. I'd rather have one piece of really nice chocolate than a big bar of cheap and nasty chocolate.
Definitely.
I do like chocolate with ginger in, and I like the ones with salt in and almonds. I don't like chocolate. I don't eat it very often. I do like it.
It is lovely. I completely agree. Next one, favourite day of the week?
Because I'm freelance, I don't have one. Because often I'm working all weekend and my day off is Wednesday or something like that. So there isn't one, sorry.
That's fine. So good to have somebody that says, I haven't got a favourite day.
The whole week just merges, isn't it? And just
Yeah, sometimes I have to look at my phone to find out what day it is.
Lovely. That'd be amazing.
Oh, it's Tuesday, right? Okay, now I know.
That would be great.
What would your perfect day be if you could choose to do whatever you wanted?
Depends. I don't think I have one. It depends what mood you're in. Probably something involving sunshine and food in a restaurant that I don't have to pay for. Really good food, and either a beach or a mountain, or just a really lovely walk, or a swim in the sea, and then really good food that I haven't paid for.
Sounds good to me.
Favourite season?
All of them.
All of them.
Except probably towards the end of January. And that's a separate season altogether, isn't it? That's the fed up season.
All this wet cold now.
Yeah.
If you could make one thing disappear from your garden or the gardening world, what would it be?
Oh, can you name somebody? That would be mean, wouldn't it?
You can name whatever.
No,
whoever
actually,
you like.
I will go for glyphosate.
Oh.
And slug pellets. I'm going to have to. All slug pellets.
Yes.
So things like that I would like to get rid of from gardens. It drives me mad when you go to garden centres or supermarkets and you've got, so I'm just going to hold this again because the cat's come back. You've got, all these herbs and flowers and things, and then rows of death spray.
Yeah.
Come on.
Even the organic slug pellets, you think, oh God, people are still using
they've got
them.
chelating agents. They knacker the soil. They're horrible things. There are ways of dealing with slugs which do not involve killing things. And if you've got a poisoned slug, that's entering the ecosystem. It's like, I don't know, obviously I live in the countryside, there are rats here. If I poisoned rats, I'll also be poisoning the owls that fly into my garden every night.
Yeah.
It's, no. Lots of things, I don't like those.
I'm with you there.
Completely agree. Favourite weed?
Ooh, caper spurge.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It looks like it's come from outer space. I love it. I brought it with me. It's starting to take.
Brilliant.
And it's poisonous, which is nice. It's got poisonous sap. It's quite.
I don't think I've ever known anybody to bring weeds from their previous garden.
Yeah, quite a few of them. Not like bindweed. I wasn't that mad. No, things that I know are like really good for attracting moths, or
yeah.
such as, actually my second favourite weed is figwort, which I brought from my old garden, and it's a poor little ugly plant. Gets quite big, gets as big as me. Tiny little flowers, and it's a food plant for so many creatures, and it's very resilient. It spreads like mad, but it's easy to hoe off. You can recognise it. And it is a really good food plant for wasps when it usually comes into flower just at the point that wasps are the ones that pollinate it. And it's just at the point that they're really needing to feed their little grubs and feed themselves and all the rest of it. So you're getting wasps in your garden, which of course are really good predators, but it also feeds caterpillars. It feeds these really weird things with long dangly legs that look like demented wasps with long legs, which are not wasps. They're the figwort sawfly. It's bonkers, and it's and mine's the common figwort, which I feel really sorry for it, because you can get a water one as well. I think it needs a better name.
That's it.
Brilliant.
Today's favourite plant.
Today's favourite plant?
Yeah.
Oh, witch hazel, because the fragrance, it's like this wall in the garden, and it's in flower, and the fragrance, every time I go by, it just knocks. It's just incredible.
Especially on a sunny day.
Lovely.
Yeah.
If your plants could talk, what would they say about you?
She talks to herself.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Definitely. Favourite garden scent?
Scent as in fragrance?
Yeah.
I don't really have one. Lovely, really lovely. The smell of really well-made compost or petrichor. Yeah. Both of them involve moisture, obviously.
Yeah, there's nothing better than that smell after the rain, isn't it? Especially when you've had a long dry spell and you get that first rain.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So both those two are wonderful.
Definitely love them. Final one, if you could choose 3 people to garden with, who would they be?
Oh, well, it would depend what the jobs were, wouldn't it?
Not really.
Dead or alive?
Dead or I can't think, to be honest. Big and strong. I've got a load of wood that needs moving. So yeah, I think big and strong. I don't mind who they are.
Keen.
This wood for me to where I want it to be. But I'm sorry, I can't give you names because that's the job I really like doing. And you need to be quite strong to ship. Some of them are quite a big bit of tree.
Nice. Sure, we can find some volunteers.
Yeah.
There'll be loads of people up for that job.
It's not.
Oh, Steph, that's been brilliant. I've really, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
I've had a laugh. Thank you. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. And thank you. And
buy the book.
Steph's book. I'm gonna get Steph's. I'm gonna get it so you can sign it for me.
Buy the book.
Oh, thank you.
Brilliant.
Every home needs a copy.
Definitely.
Needs to be added to my to be read pile.
It's a good one.
The to be read pile. I wonder if it follows you into the afterlife.
Probably does. You've got plenty of time then.
Exactly. I hope it does.
Brilliant. Thanks ever so much, Steph.
Okay, thank
Steph.
you.
See you. Thank you so much. Bye. I've been waiting for that. Looking forward to that for weeks. Really, really good. Gosh, she knows some stuff, doesn't she? Wow.
Font of knowledge.
God, massive font.
I look forward to reading the new book as well.
Yes, definitely.
Right up my street.
Bit of everything.
Well, that's what you
Sounds
need.
of it.
And I think one thing that I really don't do enough of is preserving and that side of things.
Exactly.
I can do
I'd
it
like
when
one of
it's
those
fresh.
one of those water canners that she said. I think Catherine's got one, hasn't she?
Yeah, the other thing that I heard Stephanie talk about was on another podcast is what she really wants. I don't know whether that was a while ago, but she said she really wants one of those pressure canners.
Pressure canners. That's
a
what
game changer.
Catherine's got. That's what Catherine's got.
Then you can put absolutely anything in it and it's preserved.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'd be a game changer, I'm sure.
Have to get into all that. Must get into all that because we do eat lots of what I grow, but a lot of it does go to waste.
And it's this time of year when you miss it more than anything because you're like, I want that fresh goodness from my garden.
Exactly.
And you've had like a few months of not having it. So if you could just preserve those few things that you just, it's like when I'm using the sun-dried tomatoes out of the freezer. When you put that in pasta sauce, you just know that little bit of goodness is in there.
I've got a bowl of sun-dried tomatoes in my fridge, and they're just like little wine gums.
Yeah,
because they're just that chewiness. I just eat them. Yeah, lovely. Frozen leeks and broad beans, brilliant.
The broad beans at work are like that big. They've grown 2 inches over the weekend with all that heat.
Oh, it's been warm, isn't it? Warm and sunny, that will.
That polytunnel will have been probably 20 degrees or something over the weekend.
Yeah.
Sunshine.
Yeah. Brilliant. I must get my broad beans in, to be honest. I haven't planted them yet.
Yeah, I've done another load that I can put outside because I've planted some in the polytunnel. And then I've done another load that I can put outside once it gets going.
Kev preserves and uses a canner. Great gardening talent. Who's that? Can't see it. Jenny.
I heard. Who's Kev?
Who's Kev, Jen? Tell us who Kev is and we'll get him on.
Get him on. If he's a fab gardener and woodcraft, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
That's a bit of me.
Right, I'm hungry.
Yep.
Let's have my dinner.
Sounds like a plan. And we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, another fantastic guest. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Thanks
everyone. Everybody. See you, Mark.
See you next week. Bye.
See you, mate. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Through the Garden Gate.